Okay, thank you. We have head coach Janelle McDonald, we have Chae Campbell, and we have Emma Malabuyo. We'll start off with an opening statement from Coach McDonald and then open it up to questions for the student athletes before they exit.
Yeah, just really excited about how this meet went. You know, it's one of the most nerve-wracking competitions that we get to go to. And so, you know, today the team just really wanted to stay dialed in. They wanted to stay focused and intentional about everything we were doing. And I thought they did that beautifully. It wasn't a perfect day for us, but they just really stayed in it and stayed fighting each and every step of the way. And so couldn't be more proud of them and really excited to have this box checked and be heading to Fort Worth.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes?
So last season's regionals obviously didn't go as planned, but this was a much better outcome this year. Just knowing how the team felt then and the work that you put in, how did it feel to, you know, look at the scoreboard and realize that you were going to go to nationals this year?
It felt amazing. I mean, this is a very different team from last year, and we all, the coaches, teammates, everyone made it a mission to make this year different for us. And so it's really nice to see that hard work paying off. And I think just having our little Bruin bubble and really committing to that has really taken us far.
Yeah, I would say that this team is really built on trust, and everyone's work ethic is so amazing, and just being around everybody on the team, just being able to push each other. I'm just so proud and thankful to have such like a fun team where we can just work hard and really trust each other. So I'm so proud of how far we've made it.
For Emma and Chae, going into that final rotation, I'm curious if you guys as a team or gymnasts, do you pay attention to the scores at that point? Do you know how close it is and you know the competition that's going on there? Or do you try to put it out of your mind and just go out and do what you know you want to do?
I think we're both score people.
Yes.
It motivates us.
Yeah.
So that's not everyone, but for us, or for me, I would say it definitely motivates me to know like where we're at and where we're standing, because I think that helps me perform at my best. So, you know, I was just thinking like it's a big theme of the John Wooden Pyramid at UCLA, and at the top is competitive greatness. So that's what I guess kept telling myself of like, we are that team that can make it to nationals, and if we're going to be competing with the best of the best, then we have to show that we are competitively great. So that's all I was telling myself, and I think that's what the team also leaned into as well.
Yeah, I would say going into the last rotation, I was feeling like a little bit of nerves just looking at the scores. But again, like they also motivate me. So just seeing the standings and like, oh, this is what we need to do. You know, our team has faced adversity throughout the entire season. So when it came to that moment, I knew that like we're going to hit and we're going to make it.
Kind of following up on that, obviously that third rotation for all the three top teams really just kind of changed, right? Everything changed, yeah.
Yep, no, you're right.
How difficult it is that, especially in gymnastics where one event can change that, how hard is it to not kind of let that moment become too much as you go into that final rotation?
Yeah, well, one thing I always say, one thing I always say is that it's 50% physical and 50% mental. So when things change like that, because we know that it can happen in a flash, anything can happen. So really tapping into like the mental, I think that's what separates the good teams from the great.
And I would say actually through all the events, like if someone had a little hiccup, we had each other's backs. So that's why having trust and being able to just stay within our Bruin bubble, I think that really helped us too.
You both have competed here at the Huntsman quite a few times now. I'm just curious about what your overall thoughts of the environment are whenever you guys come here to Salt Lake.
I would say it's always very loud. There's so much energy, but I think we also use that to our advantage too. When everyone's chanting for Utah, we always like say, go Bruins, and like go UCLA. So I think we like hone in on that energy and we use it to our advantage too.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just fun. Like, they're obviously, like, really passionate fans. And so, you know, obviously we know they're cheering for Utah, but, you know, energy is energy. So we're not, you know, too focused on it being against us, and more so just use it for our benefit as well.
So you two are some of the few people on the team that have experience at nationals. So what advice are you giving to your younger teammates? And for Chae, I know you went to nationals last year as an individual. So how special is it for you to finish off your career with, you know, a trip to nationals with your team?
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest goals when I decided to come back, that I wanted to be at nationals with my team. It's always just a different feeling to be with your team, and as much fun as it is to compete at nationals, like having your team there is really important and really special. So, and the work that this team has put in, like we deserve that spot, and I feel like we really showed that today. I didn't really catch the first part of that question, but yeah.
What advice are you giving to your younger teammates that don't have experience at nationals?
You got that.
The advice that I would give is that this is our last competition of the season, so there's no holding back. We got to take risks, we got to be aggressive, and we got to go in with all confidence because we are ready. We made it here for a reason, so that's the advice I would give to them.
Yeah, and it starts in the gym.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thanks, Chae and Emma.
Thank you. Thank you.
The third rotation. As a coach, obviously you're trying to balance a lot of things, but in a swing like that, especially with how Utah swung the momentum, how does that change for you, or does it change?
Yeah, the third rotation I would say was definitely not our best. I don't think we stuck any bar landings, which is not what you want to do, especially in a meet like this. And so, for us, they hit the routines really clean, and really I think where they opened the door was on those dismounts. And so for us, we saw kind of the momentum in the meet shifting. As coaches, we do follow the scores. I always try to encourage the team to stay in the bubble, but we, like they were saying, they have. Some of them get motivated by the scores, but some of them also get tight from the scores. So, it's kind of individualized. But, I knew where we were at, and I knew that beam was a really strong event for us. And so I felt really confident that if we could just go and do our normal on our last event, that we could be able to get the spot to nationals. And so, we didn't really put a lot of, focus on the things that didn't go perfectly. It was, okay, great, we hit our event, let's head to the next and let's get it done. So, turn the page, but now we got to get back in the gym, work hard to make sure that, we can clean that up for nationals.
You mentioned the pressure of a regional final, and you've obviously been through these multiple times now.
Yeah.
And I'm curious the benefit for your team going to nationals, competing in a meet like this that was as competitive as it was.
Yeah, when you get to the regional final, every team is good, and you open the door a little bit, somebody is going to run through it. And I think heading to nationals, it's that same mentality: is you got to really stay focused and intentional every step of the way. Otherwise, you're going to open the door for somebody to run through it. And so, heading into nationals, this was a great experience for us, being on the floor with really great teams, and we know what we need to do to really lock in and have a cleaner performance at nationals, and to be able to hit our events like we want to there. So. Great experience for us today. We're going to learn from it. We're going to grow from it and be ready to compete.
How much does your veterans on this team, help with that, as you make this transition into nationals?
Yeah, I feel like our team culture has really become very steady. And I think that, in all of the things that get thrown at you throughout season, that steadiness allows you to stay calm and confident in the moments that you need to the most. And so I feel like our seniors really have just really encompass that in every step of the way all season long. They've showed that things don't have to go perfectly, but the next person up has your back, and we're good to go. We got it. We're going to, right the ship and make sure that we finish strong. And so, couldn't be more proud of our seniors and the leadership that they provide on the competition floor and in the gym, and even out of the gym. And so, they really set a great standard for everybody to really lean into and to learn from.
So Mika scored 2 career highs today, one on vault and one on floor, and her vault score was her second 9925 or higher of the postseason. How much have you seen her grow throughout the year for her to be able to shine and come through for the team in these big postseason moments?
Yeah, Mika's growth this year has just been inspiring to see. She, I think the athlete that came in September probably wouldn't be able to handle the moment that she just did. She really dove into the team right from the get-go, and every step of the way she wanted to be at her best for the team. And I think when you can take hold of that mentality and compete for something bigger than yourself, it really allows you to just go out and do your best. And Mika is just a perfect example of that. College is a very different feel. Competing in college is very different than it is competing in club. And so, her being able to just lean into the team and want to show up in every moment the very best that she can has just been incredibly inspiring to watch happen. She works very, very hard. She's very intentional. She's very detail oriented, and she's just overall just very fun and steady each and every day. And so it was very special to see her come out as a freshman and handle this moment the way she did.
As a coach, you're not shy about showing your emotions and kind of rallying around your gymnasts. How important as a coach do you feel that is, especially the old style of gymnastics where sometimes that wasn't always that case. How important is that for you to kind of set that tone?
Yeah, I think there's so much that's on the plate of these student athletes each and every day. They're really busy. They have a lot of pressure and stress that comes with just what they do. And so, I really feel like my job as a coach is really to make sure each and every day I'm bringing great energy to help their day be great. And, when we get out here, the coaching is done. It's really about supporting them and showing up for them how they need so that they can be at their best in these moments. And so for me, I bring the energy. I try to bring really a lot of positivity and just make sure that they know that we're here for them no matter what, and we have their back.
I just have one more question. So obviously Macy didn't compete today or yesterday. There was only a 1-day break between the competitions, but there's a week with no competition before the Nationals Championship. Do you expect her to be healthy by then?
Yeah, I do expect that she'll be a part of the picture. Today, she was actually able to do the full warm-up with us and all of that, so she's definitely feeling a lot better. She just hasn't had the week of training. We would need her to really feel comfortable with her going in today, and so I anticipate she'll be ready to go for Nationals.
Any other questions for Coach McDonald? All right.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.